if they don't make sense, if it's not about equity, there's no justice to it, sometimes you have to challenge those rules. Petitions that are coming from your members, from your constituencies, of course you're not supposed to sign it. But let me ask amongst the rules, I'm not very familiar with the Senate rules, so I would say yes, I'm not knowledgeable enough. But the question I will ask, is there a place where it explicitly says that if you are writing a petition against a fellow senator, is that you're not supposed to sign it, or is it the signing is only when petition is being brought in from your constituency? But beyond that also, and the biggest travesty of it all, is the fact that the accused was also the judge in this case. If you're talking about the Senate being an institution that is so well respected, that is supposed to be of members who are distinguished, even though they haven't distinguished themselves, you would expect that they would have had the courage to have said to the Senate president, step down on this issue. Let someone else, an impartial person, stay on it and, take charge of that particular session. And if the members of the Senate were unable to have the courage to do this, then you would have thought that integrity would have made the Senate president to excuse himself and come down and say, on this issue, since I'm the one who is being accused, let me step down and let this go on. None of that happened. And for me, the question is this: what right does the Senate or members of the Senate have to take away something that the Constitution of this country has given someone? Senator Natasha was not made a senator by her fellow senators in the Senate. She was made a senator by her constituents who voted for her. And even when there was issue with that whole election, she went to court and she got her mandate back. And so they cannot strip her of something that they were not the ones that gave them. And I don't think it makes sense for you to suspend somebody for 6 months. They don't have a right. They shouldn't have a right. And that should be challenged. And that has been challenged before. To suspend anybody from their legislative duty, what they can have a right to is to suspend you maybe from taking part in committee activities, from taking part in some oversight function. But for this is a travesty that we should all, stand up for. And let me just end up by saying that Senator Natasha was not humiliated. The Senate humiliated itself. It shows that it's full of men and women who don't have courage, who do not understand that they are all first among equals, and that they were sent in by their citizens, and their allegiance is supposed to be to the Constitution, to Nigeria, and to their constituents. They decided that they were going to bow their heads and do nothing when they saw injustice being done. And I will end with Senator Natasha's words. This injustice will not be sustained. And this will be the beginning that will lead to a shift in this country, by the grace of God.